Hi, I'm Sue from Garden Moxie. Today I'm going to show you how I made a living wreath. I plan to hang this wreath on the outside door that leads to my patio into the garage. It's a sturdy metal frame that comes with a 2-piece coconut fiber liner. The liner is used to hold the soil inside the wire frame. The first step is to line the frame with the coconut liner. The liner comes in 2 pieces. Once I get the liner in place, I fill the space up with soil. I use Miracle-Gro Moisture Control Potting Mix. It contains a slow-release fertilizer, and it also absorbs more water than traditional potting mix. This is going to be important for a vertical garden. One thing to keep in mind with living wreaths or vertical gardens is they have a tendency to dry out easily. The water control potting mix should work better than a standard potting mix under my conditions. Once I get the soil placed inside the frame, I need to cover the back with the second piece of coconut liner. I use floral pins to hold both of the sections of the liner together. The key here is to make sure the soil is secure within the frame. I had a little trouble getting some of the floral pins to stick inside of the coconut liner. But I did learn that the best method to secure the soil is to pull the sides of the larger liner over the back liner, and then use the floral pins to pin it in place. I moved around the perimeter until the liner was secure. It was easy once I got the hang of it. Once everything is pinned together, you latch the frame cover onto the main wreath frame. Once you turn over your frame to start planting, you want to make sure all the soil is secure. When I turned the wreath over for the first time, I noticed a small section where the soil was spilling out. It wasn't anything that another floral pin couldn't handle, but it's a lot easier to take care of this kind of thing before you start planting. Now it's time to plant the flowers inside the wreath. I used a sharp pair of sewing scissors to cut a notch into the coconut liner, and it needs to be large enough so that you can insert your plants. I used pansies that I started from seed. It actually was a little hard to wedge some of the plants into the frame because the pansies were on the large side. I made it work, but I think using smaller plants would have made the planting process a lot easier. I think this type of living wreath frame works best if you use plants that are grown in the small growing cells, like the annual flats of flowers that you buy at the local garden center. I was happy with how the wreath looked once I got all the plants planted. The next step is to water in your plants. You want to keep the wreath frame flat on the ground or a table when you water. I made sure to water the wreath really well. You can see from the video that the watering process is definitely messy. You need to keep the wreath flat for a few days after planting it to allow the roots to settle before you hang it up. I'm looking forward to watching this wreath grow. I hope you enjoyed this project. That's all for this week. Cheers!